Shalom, dear friends and congregants. I truly hope this message finds you and members of your dear family well and coping with this, the new normal. I would like to begin my message by paraphrasing the very first words of Charles Dickens' novel, A Tale of Two Cities. It was the best of times, it was the worst of times. In many ways, this phrase rings true today more than ever. It is the best of times because amidst the unprecedented pandemic, we as individuals and as a community continue to draw strength from each other as we support and comfort family, friends, and neighbors who find themselves in isolation and with no one to turn to. It is the best of times as we witness on a daily basis random and compelling acts of human kindness towards complete strangers. It is the best of times when leaders and agencies step up to the plate and go above and beyond the call of duty to comfort and assist members of our community with an outstretched hand so we may feel safe and stay informed. It is the best of times as religious institutions and its leaders have literally reached the clouds, the virtual cloud, that is. We are blessed to live in a time when a click of a button enables us to converse, see each other, and pray together as a congregation without walls, without losing touch with one another nor losing a beat. The Spanish and Portuguese synagogue, as well as countless other congregations here and around the world, are a true testament to that fact. This can truly turn out to be the best of times, as the world, no matter the conviction or denomination, have turned to God to ask that He afford us the faith and the knowledge that together as humans living in this fragile planet will get through this, and in the process become better individuals, a better community, a better people, and a better world. Unfortunately, it is also known as the worst of times, a time of profound introspection, a time to reflect, value, and appreciate the people and things we took so long for granted. This year, our customary and long-awaited Passover, Sedarim, as we know them, will not be the same. This Passover, we'll have much more to talk about. The words, "Ma nishtana halayla hazeh mikol halelot," how is this night different from all other nights, will have more profound and philosophical meaning. We will have to answer the difficult questions posed to us by our younger generation, and we will have to explain to our children, while we sit around the Seder table, why this year we cannot fulfill the mitzvah as it is prescribed in the Haggadah. Kol dichfin yete ve'yechol, kol ditzrich yete ve'yifsach. All those who are hungry, let them enter and eat. All who are in need, let them come celebrate the Passover. On all other Passovers, we were united. On this Passover, we keep our distance. Nevertheless, it is incumbent upon us to open up the discussion and not skirt around the subject of asking why this calamity has befallen us. As I grapple with the myriads of possible answers I will give my children, I am reminded of the following story from the Baal Shem Tov, a great Jewish mystic and healer who lived in the 1700s, which resurfaced in a message that I heard from my good friend Rabbi Jacobson. A young man approached the Baal Shem Tov, who in his great wisdom had great insights on life, and expressed to him his frustration and utter sadness. The man explained to him that every time he tried getting spiritually closer to God, and every time he wished to elevate himself, he seemed to experience a sense of failure, a setback, if you will, never seeming to gain traction. The Baal Shem Tov turned to him and said, "My son, this is the way of life," and shared with him the following anecdote. An anecdote of a father trying to teach his infant child to walk. For a long time, the child, comfortable walking on his fours, felt secure and he felt safe. Then the day came when the child was strong enough to stand on his own 2 feet. Yes, he was afraid to walk and take the first steps. But the father stands at arm's length and stretches out his hands, and the child feels that the father is close enough and feels somehow confident that his father will catch him if he falls. Then, with much courage, the child takes that first step. But as soon as he does, the father takes a step back. However, stays close enough to encourage the child to take the next step. And so, on this unending journey, the more the child gets closer to the father, the more the father takes a step back. If we were to ask the child or even read the child's mind, as Rabbi Jacobson mentioned, we would undoubtedly see that the child is asking itself, why is it that every time I come closer to my father, he seems to appear farther away? I can't seem to reach him, and as much as I try, I don't seem to succeed. The reason why that is that both the father and the child have two divergent goals. The child seeks safety and a sense of security in the arms of his father. The father's goal for the child is to be able to stand independently and go through life's journey on his own. Of course, every parent's dream and aspiration is to be there for their child at any time and any place. However, the minute that happens and that the child counts on it at every turn, then the child's progress ceases and the journey ends. My dear friends and congregants, although these days may seem that God is stepping back further away from us, and as we try desperately to get closer to Him, it should be an indication, according to the Baal Shem Tov, that God is not that far. That He is at arm's length, ready to hold us in the safety and security of His loving arms. All we need to do is persevere and continue relentlessly on the path as we've always done before as a people. The way things are right now is not the way they will be forever. I once read that embrace uncertainty. Some of the most beautiful chapters in our lives won't have a title until much later. In the words of Albert Schweitzer, eventually all things fall into place. Until then, laugh at the confusion. Live for the moments and know that everything happens for a reason. My dear friends at the Spanish and Portuguese congregation and all congregations around the world, we wanted you to know that your clergy is here for you. Even though we do not have the walls of the synagogue around us, we are virtually here and we are very close and we are at arm's length. You can count on us. And may this Passover, although different from all others, be a beautiful one with family and friends, even though they're far away, but they're in your heart. Chag Sameach.